scratching your fake point. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. Kimbia, like your life depends on it. Hola, hola, hola. There you go. Hi. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday. Monday, Tuesday. Hello, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Unaniford kwa director. Patia mwikali. Okay. Patia mwikali. Yes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Say what? My guest. Oh, okay. Test your mic, say anything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hear me?
Continue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hello, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Emmanuel.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, Fidel, yes. Hi, yes, stand by, everybody. Kwa sawa? Alafu sasa itabidi All right, and it is exactly 10 a.m. and that tells you that you are in time for your favorite. I want to still insist on your favorite breakfast show because literally it's still breakfast, okay? I want to say mid-morning show at this point, and that is Your World on this Mindful Monday. My name is Winnie Lubembe. Super, super excited for today's conversation for literally two reasons, okay? Amongst so many other reasons. One is because we're dedicating this show today for men, okay? So all the men who are watching us this morning, hi. Chachito was about, okay. So it's so good to see you this morning because we want to talk about issues that affect the men, and we just want to understand why is it that men do not actually talk about some of these issues. All right, so we're breaking the silence this morning and we're saying why men need to talk. And the question that we're asking you this morning is very simple. Why do men prefer to suffer in silence than talk about their issues? That is the biggest question that we're asking this morning. And as always, interact with us on our socials, and that is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X. My guests are already here, and there's some weird thing going on. There was clearly like a color combination memo that I did not get, okay? They're only like navy blue, which is interesting, okay? But I'm sure some of you are like, Winnie, you told us that there's going to be a surprise. What exactly is the surprise, okay? So the biggest surprise is, as Your World and as Nation Media Group in general, we are very keen on you, the audience, highlighting stories and shows that really speak to you. And in that spirit, we're growing bigger and better. And like I said, from today, our show will be from 10 a.m. all the way to 12 midday. So, what is the surprise, you ask? Well, guess what? We have a new co-host. The biggest question is, who exactly is it, okay? Can you guess? I'm going to give you like a second. Can you guess? I saw some of your guesses online, and majority of you, you're not actually right, okay? So who exactly is our guest, not our newest co-host right here on Your World? Well, drum rolls, please. We are introducing Mwikali. Look at her. Look at her. Looking Opry. Hey, please. Come on. Don't be give a call. Hi. I want to give you a hug. You look so lovely.
Thank you so much.
How you feeling?
Well. I am ecstatic.
Yeah. And we're also excited to have you on the show. And like I said, it's going to get bigger and better and more fun. Double the fun, right?
Yes.
Double the fun.
Double the fun.
Yes.
I was thinking how the tagline is, rocking your world.
Right?
And how we're about to just do that in a
Let me
bigger
tell
and
you,
better way.
you are not ready. But just in case, because we have, been together for a couple of weeks, Tumejuana and Pole Pole, but we're getting to know each other better. But just in case someone is actually, seeing this beautiful, gorgeous face for the first time, and they're like, okay, Mwikali, Ebu, tell us that one thing that we need to know moving forward.
I'm a ball of energy, positive energy. That is what's up. Expect nothing other than utter beautiful conversation, aspiring conversation, life-changing conversations. I will bring the energy and expect you to bring it too. So,
right? It's our show. It's our show. So we bring all the energy, double the fun, double the impact, double everything that you can think about. So we're so happy to have you, Mwikali, on board. Welcome. I hope you're feeling at home already.
I am.
I hope you're excited. We
You've
have
made
an
it so
audience.
easy. You made it so easy.
You're
Thank
so
you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. So guess what? Mwikali will actually be coming. She's here. She's gonna stay until the end of the show because it's our show. Yeah, Sisi Wote, okay? So she'll be taking us through the second hour of the conversation. What will you be focusing on? Because like I said, today's focus is purely on men. So everything and anything that you can think about the men, okay? We'll be focusing on the same today, all right? So Mwikali, what should we expect in the second part of the conversation?
The second conversation is very important because it focuses on relationships and finances. And I think there's a relation in there because you've had that thing for, why are you getting married and you don't have money? Why are you dating? So there's a correlation when it comes to, finances and relationships. So we'll delve deeper into that in the next hour.
Mm-hmm. You know what, as they say, mwanaume ni pesa. So today we'll get to understand what exactly does that mean, okay? But at the same time, like I said, we have an audience today. Wanaume, I don't want to say club. Wanaume ni who? So no. Wanaume 1, 2, 3. Even you guys on the panel. 1, 2. Wanaume 1, 2, 3. Better. Yes, that's much better. So on this part, first part of the conversation, we'll be focusing mostly on the health aspect, okay? General well-being, really. So from mental health to physical health to anything, okay? Do they even have time for self-care?
I don't know. Do you just walk into a hosi and be like, nimekuja niangalieni?
Right? Health.
Help me.
It's idea.
I don't know. I'm about to find out though.
Right? Yes, so that is what we'll be focusing on the first part of the conversation. And also, Mwikali will also be engaging the guests, the audience that we have on set. Just get to understand. When is the last time they even went to a hospital and just said, Mimi nimekujia check-up? Okay? Yes. So, Mwikali will be with the audience. Leo watafunguka. Okay? But my panel is already here. I'm so used to introducing them. Now I want to give you a chance. Mujipigie. Sindio. Let's start from.
Leave you to it.
Oh, yes. And then we'll speak to the audience in just a second. All right, so let me begin with you. Of course, I know you, okay? But wale ule mtu at home, tell them. Uza CV.
Thank you, Winnie.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
My name is Dr. Jerry Okello. I am a director, Medigold Health Services. This is a curative organization. Apart from that, we are running a home service product whereby we come at home and we see patients at home. Yes.
All right, I see that. Thank you so much, Dr.
Asante
Jerry.
sana.
Okay, Pastor Maybe.
Good morning, and my name is Simon Baby.
Reverend, yes.
I'm a father, I'm a husband. I lead an organization called Transform Nations, where we do programs for men. I think the one that a lot of people know is Man Enough. So getting men together to talk about their issues and become better as well. But we also do programs for fathers, we do mentorship for boys. So that's under Transform Nations. There's different programs to help the boy child.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited to be here.
I like that. Okay, all right. Emmanuel?
Good morning.
Good
First of all,
morning.
Happy New Year. Good to see you
Do you know I
this
tell
year.
people Happy New Year, they're like, Winnie, tumeshafika February.
Let
But
me
no.
tell you, it's the first time we have seen each other this year, so it's valid.
Hata tukionana September,
After
it's still
September,
Happy New Year.
Yeah, but it's good to be here. My name is Emmanuel Gashanja. I am a husband,
Yeah.
a father,
Yeah.
and a relationship champion.
Yeah.
I am the founder and of iVow, which is an organization that seeks to preserve the sanctity of marriage. And yeah, it's an honor to be here, and I'm excited for this conversation.
And it's such an honor to also have all of you. And you know, the reason why I asked all of you to introduce yourselves is because tunasikianga wanaume atuongeangi sana. Atuongeangi sana. Tuko tu ile kidogo tunasema, that's it. Okay? But sometimes it's also important to just give them a chance to wajiongelele. Sindio? Because most of the time it's us women. Tunajua kusema. And it's so good to have all of you. And like I said, today it's such a full panel because we want to look at a man holistically, not just the mental health and the physical aspect, but also in relationships when it comes to money, because all these things sort of informs who we are, but also impact us in one way or the other. So Rev Bevi, allow me to start with you, a man, okay? Can we first of all just understand the magnitude of, I want to say that term, but really not that term, but a man? Like, who exactly is a man? What do they think? What is their perception? How do they behave? And why is this important?
Well, that's a very broad question.
Yeah.
Let me see how to go around it.
Yeah.
But even before I get into that, there's something you said.
Yeah.
Men don't talk a lot. Yet it's interesting when it comes to interviews for a job, they say men talk a lot more about themselves confidently than
Yeah.
women. When it comes to
Interesting.
social and personal issues, I think men just shy off. Huh? And there are many reasons why, those challenges are there.
Yeah.
But just back to the question now. So who is a man? Of course, a man is a boy who's growing, into manhood. And I should say it's really a choice. It's a commitment to be a man.
Yeah.
And I talk about a man is someone who has chosen to sit on a three-legged stool. Three things that support positive masculinity.
All right.
Number one is honor. So a man is his character, is really who he is within, what he believes in, his convictions. That's what defines a man. Mwanaume ni character at the end of the day.
Character. Okay. Okay.
But number two is duty, responsibilities. We said we are husbands, we are fathers. Those are responsibilities. We are workers. Those are things we do.
All right.
But before we come to what we do, we are who we are, which is character. And then lastly is care. And care is important because that's what makes us tender warriors. We're warriors, we're going for something, we have a purpose, a work, but we need to be caring.
Okay.
I always say a man stands at as tallest as he reaches out to care for others. Either furthest or lowest to care for someone else who needs care. So a man who has heart. So I believe a man is those three things. Character, who he is within, his convictions and how those play out in his relationships. Responsibility, what he does every day. And then care.
Okay. All right. Emmanuel, I see you, deep thoughts. A man, okay, to you, what exactly is that? When you hear the term a man, because you see the society, a man is a symbol of authority. A man is the provider. A man is the protector. A man is a man is, okay? But really, who is this person called a man from your perspective?
I think everything that Pastor Mbevi has said
All right.
is what I think a man is. But maybe just to add that, he's a visionary, he's a leader, and he's a teacher.
Okay.
I believe that the man has been given the mandate to think through what does this world look like?
All right.
What's the purpose? How do we make it better? How do we nurture it? How do we rule it? And I think he's the one who also helps, create the strategies to lead the rest to get into that place of
space, yeah.
achieving that goal, that dream.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to ask you still the same, like Chari, because now you're the mid-dick in this space, right? A man, and can we also talk about their behavior, and especially when it comes to health-seeking behavior of a man? Because based from the two, there's a lot that is expected of a man, right? But then again, when it comes to like within, when it comes to like taking care of themselves, when it comes to just making sure that they are there for the family in all aspects, present, yes, but also healthy, right? So from your perspective and understanding a man from a wellness point of view, where would you say you men are at?
Thank you, Winnie.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about what Pastor Mbovia said, I've talked about.
Yeah.
He brings this topic of identity.
Okay.
Identity is a very important topic that mostly we don't talk about, but it's very important.
All right.
When I talk about identity, if I can give an example of a form, when you're going to, probably you want to fill a form for an interview or you want to travel, there is the particulars that are usually the first things you fill.
Okay.
That is the name, age, gender, all that. Yeah.
All right.
So identity is, according to my view, is divided into two, whereby we have individuality,
All right.
and then we also have personality. So individuality are these particulars that we feel. For example, we have our name. Our name will include our surname, whereby this will show you where this person is coming from.
All right.
When you know where this person is coming from, definitely you will start to understand him. For example, I'm a Luo. You will start understanding how Luos behave. When you go to age, you'll value me according to my age, meaning that if I'm a young man, there's an expectation of how I'm going to behave.
All right.
If I'm
What's
an
acceptable,
elderly
what's
person,
not? Okay.
then you expect me to behave in a certain way.
All right.
Then when now you come to male, there is male and female. Now, male and female, that is where the medical part comes in.
Okay.
I know of a man and I know of a woman. So I know how men look like and how to treat them if it's medically.
All right.
And if it's a woman, then I'll know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
Now, when we analyze all that, then we say that is individuality, meaning that I can actually tell the subconscious mind of this person from that detail, from all that detail.
Okay.
When I come to personality, these are acquired, meaning that I can be a Luo who lives in USA. And then I develop...
Of course, a Luo would say, I'm a Luo who lives in USA. But of course, I'm a Luo living in West than you. All right.
Now, I'm a Luo who lives in USA.
Okay.
Then I develop those characters that USA people have. Then when you look at me, or when you when I come before you, I'll present myself as a Luo subconsciously, but character-wise, I'm a person from abroad.
Interesting.
You get. So this, when we talk about all this personality and individuality, is then we can acquire personality, but we cannot acquire individuality. We develop, and it's more natural. You can actually see it. Individuality, you can see it.
Okay.
Now, when you align your personality and individuality, then you tend to get the right direction.
I like that. Wait,
But
individuality, personality, acquire, cannot acquire. Look at us going deep, okay? Yeah, okay.
Now, most of us usually tend to come out of our personality.
Personality.
So we don't align them with the individual, because the individuality, it gives us a direction, the true purpose. Because if I'm a Luo, there's some attribute or there's a way that I need to live as a Luo.
Okay.
If I'm a Christian, remember, Christianity or Muslim, they're all in the individuality part.
Okay.
So there's an expectation of me as a man, how I need to live as a man.
As a man. Okay.
So all this will align with my personality, and then once it's aligned, then I can be able to live a full man's life.
I can hear Emmanuel and Reverend Bevy in their head saying, and then that helps you to find your purpose. Eh? Okay, but and it's good that then we're getting to hear all these different facets. Yeah, United States of Awendo, Alisema USA, so it could be Awendo. Okay, listen, let me open the floor a little bit, and then we'll come back then to understand. So then, what are some of those common, I would say, conditions that affect a man, and even like their personality and all those things. But for the audience, my question is, and I know Mikali is there. My biggest question is, when was the first time you came across the term a man? At what point in your life were you told, now you're a man? Was it when you were a child? When after, I know it's a watershed period, but really, maybe after circumcision, for those who practice. But really, at what point did you come across the term a man? And how did that, first of all, shift your perception as far as a man? But at the same time, did that shape then the man you are today? I know it's like 5 questions in one. But let's start with the basics. The term a man.
Okay.
When did you come across it? Who wants to go first? Who? 1, 2, 3. Who? Oh, no, you. Yeah. When was the first time you came across the term a man?
The first time I came across the term a man
Okay.
is when I was being circumcised.
Oh, okay.
And that was when I was 9 years.
All right.
So when you, in the Luya land, when you are being circumcised, you are being taken to where the elders are. So you are being told some of the things you are supposed to do, like you are now the lead of the house. When I'm not around, know that your mother is looking at you.
Yes.
And also you are not supposed to go in the kitchen. So those are some of the things that I was told when I came across the term a man.
Interesting. So at that point, did that sort of like form some type of perception really and expectation as far as a man is concerned? And did you start behaving as a man from that point on?
Of course, you are supposed to behave like a man because you are now being monitored. A little mistake, you are being taken to the elders. This is what you are told.
Okay.
Are you practicing it or you are shy of it?
Interesting.
So you are now being taken step by step so that when you reach a certain level, you are now good to lead the family when the father is not around.
I see that. All right, one more person very quickly before we go on a break, because we really need to go
a hand
on a break.
here.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, for me, I can't say that I'm a lawyer. Because for me, I'm a Luo. Actually, I'm a man Luo. So
Hey,
this
Luos today.
I came across the term a man when I was finishing my Form 4.
Okay.
That's when my father told me that now you're a man.
Now you're a man.
Now you stand for yourself. Go and study because you are a man.
Okay.
So being a man, it's hard, but it's easy though, and it's free. Let me say it's free being a man. You do what you want.
Ha! Hey! Freedom galore! Eh? You do what you want.
You do what you want.
Hey!
Yeah.
Okay. And has that doing what you want, eh? How's it going so far?
So far, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. All right. Do you want to go next? The first time you came across the term a man?
Actually, to echo what he has said, becoming a man, according to us, actually it doesn't mean being circumcised or whatever.
Okay.
But becoming a man is owning responsibilities. Yeah, because actually, let me say me after leaving Form 4, now I became an actual man. Actual man, because with us, actually, when you're above 18 years, you love to live a life that you yourself you're proud of. That's why normally people say that Luos are proud of themselves,
Yeah.
whatever.
Pride.
But let me say, we just choose to live a lifestyle.
Hey, let me tell you, that is a discussion, a whole different discussion in itself. Okay.
Becoming a man, actually,
Uh-huh.
whatever I can say, in my perspective, is owning responsibilities.
Owning responsibility. I really
And
like
a man, you should be a decision maker.
Okay.
In each and every circumstance that you come across,
Yeah.
when actually you're in a group, maybe when you start dating or whatever, you should you should have the capabilities to make responsibilities yourself
Okay.
and able to have a say in that
In
relationship.
that relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, can we put a pin there? And then when we come back, then we'll get to understand what does this responsibility really look like? And based on, so what is ideal, what is expected, and vitu kwa ground, how is it? Okay, so let's put a pin there. Then when we come back, we'll pick the conversation. But again, if you're watching us this morning, I want to pose the same question. I know we have a question for you today, and the question is very simple. Why is it that men choose to really suffer in silence and not share their issues, whatever it is, whether good or bad, really? But also, when was the first time that you came across that term, a man, and did that define who you are today as a man? I want to hear from you as well. And we'll be taking your feedback after the break. We'll go through our socials and also use our WhatsApp number, 0112 500 400. And let's get to understand a man, okay? And how then do we help and create that environment, a safe environment for a man to come up and say, hey, I am going through this, or hey, I have acquired this amount of wealth. What do we do? Okay, so how do we create that safe environment for the men to talk? So it's gonna be an amazing conversation to continue all the way up until 12 midday. But for now, let's take that break. See you shortly. Yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Mix. Okay. Oh, feedback. Yani we have been laughing in the house. Which one? Kana ni gani? Oh. All right, welcome back. The show is Your World on the new timing that is from 10 all the way to midday, and it's 2 hours of impactful conversation, fun conversations at that, but also conversations that really touches you as our audience. And like I said, this is not just our show, it is our show, okay? You, Bukali, and I, and our guests, and everybody who's involved in the show. And today on this Mindful Monday, we're beginning with men, because again, these are the people that we look up to. They are our fathers, they are our brothers, they are our friends, they are our boyfriends. I don't want to say situationships, it's a Monday morning, okay? But these are people who are around us every single day. But the biggest question is, why is it that most of them actually choose to suffer in silence? So we're opening a space for the men today. Very, very safe space. It's 99% men. I know it's two ladies hosting the show and our producer Mabel as well, but really it's a safe space for men to really open up and talk about their issues, but also understanding how we as a society can also provide that safe space for men to talk about maybe not just their issues, but really everything that is going on in their lives, okay? And today, like we said, it's breaking the silence and why men need to talk. And the question that we're asking you today is, why is it that men prefer to suffer in silence rather than talking about their struggles? What do you have to say on our social media platforms? Well, Wikali is ready to go through your comments on Wikali. What do we have?
Let me tell you, the feedback is amazing. There's a lot of agreeing, deflecting, all kinds of things that you can think about in our feedback. And I'm checking through Facebook right now. Joel Mogaka says, a man is a beacon of strength and security. If you panic or show weakness, the whole lot will panic and things will fall apart. A man should suffer in silence with a face of hope and courage to others, even unto his death.
Hey.
Even when all hope is gone. Hey! Faith Kiget says, maybe they fear kuchekwa, but at the same time, I think they're trying their best, hoping maybe tomorrow will be better, that their struggles will be lighter, but with time, high work. So finally, wanaingia depression unknowingly in the name of fighting. Mungu awatie nguvu, because it's never easy for them. Very encouraging there. Martin Kyle says, your struggles can be used against you once you recklessly address them to people. Sad reality. I like that they've used the word recklessly. So does that mean as a man, you need to be careful where and how you speak your problems? And I'd like to find out more from our panel today. Every man is king on his own. Kings never share their struggles. That is Samuel Muteti, Major. Ndombi K asks, after all, who is listening to them? Yameni. If men knew where they can channel their issues, intimate killings could be put to an end. Very, very. Can I go on?
Please do.
Yes,
Please
okay.
do. Yeah.
Sometimes the people we open up to end up using our weaknesses to ridicule us. And if by chance your weakness happens to be used against you, then they say once beaten, twice shy. So that means they never come up again to ever say what it is that they are struggling with. Kimani Njau says, persecuted, blamed, and sentenced to the will of the people, but still stands to be the true meaning of life. Philip Peters Ndirango, who listens? Another question. Another man asking the same question. Who listens? And if you were to speak out, who would be there to understand? A man is a pillar, an inspiring spirit, not to be looked down upon.
Who listens? Can we just start from there?
Let's start there.
Who wants to take that? Who listens?
Let me say something there. And it's a genuine question because there's a natural and there's a cultural. The natural is because I have a daughter, 2 daughters and a son.
Okay.
If my daughter is in trouble, I'll rush there very quickly. I think it's natural and also cultural. And I'll listen what's going on.
Yes.
If my son is struggling with something, I'll probably think he's going to handle it. Before he dies, I'll be there. But it will be after a while. So I think there's a natural. There is a lot easier to listen to my mother who's gone through some struggles than my father who's gone through some struggles. But then there's also the cultural. Culturally, then we are brought up being told, be a man. Suck it up. You're strong.
Yes.
So then we think, okay, we shouldn't be sharing that because as one of the people said, it shows weakness. And of course, that leads to negativity. That's negative masculinity.
Yeah.
That's why then we get into suicide, depression, and those things. Because we're stuffing it in. So there's that cultural. But the cultural, so there's a cultural self. I don't want to share because I look weak. I'm keeping my image. So wacha nikufe kikondo. Very quietly.
Yes.
But I've been telling men we need to kufa kimbuzi. Mbuzi makes a lot of noise. Before they get to the slaughter. At least you might be rescued. At least you must be. But the other one is also the expectation of society culturally. If I'm walking down the street and we are walking down and we find a lady crying, looking like she's in trouble, we will probably stop and check. We find a man doing the same, or you find your CEO is a man crying in his office. You ridicule it, laugh about it, maybe tweet about it, but you're not going to take it seriously. You say, what's wrong with men these days? So self-expectation, I don't want to look weak, but also will the society take that if I become vulnerable?
I see that.
Yeah, but I guess we really have to get to that place where we talk.
Absolutely.
I remember a time, just based on what he's saying, we were seated, a group of boys. There was 7 of us. And, you know, we talked and and enjoyed a good conversation.
Yes.
We ate nyama, there were drinks on the table. And guys really enjoyed. At about 2 a.m., now we are thinking of going home. One of my friends asked, guys, how are you really doing? Because I'm struggling. And let me tell you, we left that place at 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And the things we heard were just out of this world. Imagine 3 of us were in divorce court.
Oh, wow.
These are friends we hang out every single day. We didn't even know they have an issue at home, that they were struggling. 2 of them, their business had gone under. They hadn't been working. The other one at work, was under review. And I'm just like, wait a minute. All these guys have been looking good all this time. And we've never talked a single issue. And if you look at all of them, again, there's that social expectation that as a man, you carry yourself a certain way. You do things a certain way. You're supposed to figure it out. When I'm in the counseling room, I always consciously have to tell the wives or the girlfriends, because I do relationship counseling. When I consciously have to tell them, listen, the way this man is wired, he's wired to figure it out and then bring the solution to the table. He's not wired to complain. Because when we complained, we were told, stop complaining. Why are you acting like a girl? When we expressed our emotions, we were told, stop crying like a girl. And I also, Pastor Mbevi, I also had to catch myself from doing the same to my sons. Because my firstborn especially, I didn't know better. So I would tell him, stop crying I'll give you a reason to cry. And I would say, stop crying like a girl. And I realized I was perpetuating the same thing that was done to me. And teaching him to suppress his emotions and not to be able to be open and to talk. So it is actually a real pandemic.
It really is. So my question would be, and I think we'll take this as we wind up the first hour. So then how do we change the narrative? Because we understand the societal expectations and even sometimes that internal, I want to say stigma, quote unquote, is where we are today. So then how do we shift that narrative to understand that this young boy, it doesn't matter whether you are circumcised at 9, they are still a child growing up. So help them figure their way out instead of just telling them, be a man, now you're expected to do all these things, right? But aside from that, so what are some of this common, I want to say health, issues that affect men that you've dealt with over time, and why do you think that's the case?
Well, in my years of practice, I've witnessed men developing a lot of depression. That is one.
Okay.
2, I've realized that men don't like coming to hospital.
Why is that? Kwa nini mtaka kwenda hospitali?
Well, it's the same thing. The environment has shaped us, and it has given us that personality of being strong, even if you're suffering. So you realize that if, let's say, for example, you have a family, you're taking care of the family, you have a job that is not making much, and you have a lot of responsibility. Then you look at your condition, you want to go to hospital, and to you, you look at like you think you're wasting money treating yourself. So you'd rather consider your family first, so that if they are sick, you'll take them to hospital. The mother will take them to hospital. You pay money, but when it comes to you, you try to see if you can actually avoid spending money on yourself.
Okay.
So that is one thing. Two, again, men are just shy. They are shy of explaining themselves.
Amogopangi sindano.
Well,
Also tukienda mnatuambia haya toa swali.
well, what really happens is, let's say, for example, you're dealing with sexually transmitted diseases. The man will feel the signs and symptoms.
Okay.
He will tell the lady to go to hospital because there's a way he's feeling.
Okay.
Then the lady gets tested. Once he's treated, he tells the lady, ambia daktari akuandikie yangu pia. So to him, and this also, we also see this in antenatal clinics.
Yes.
When the mother is paged, she goes for antenatal care, and there are some tests that are usually done. So if we do HIV tests, then it comes out to be negative. Then the man automatically knows negative. And he didn't go to hospital.
Yes.
The mother went alone, and this is something that now we are trying to discourage.
Yeah.
We're trying to talk to the first time you come to the clinic, the doctor or the nurse has to be very friendly. Encourage the lady to come with the spouse. Then now, once the spouse comes, you as a medic, it's your responsibility to give that man an opportunity or to make him come back again.
Okay, all right.
So the way you treat him.
Yeah. Even during like the antenatal and postnatal care, I mean, Mama is like, "Where's your husband?" Of course,
That happens in. I'm sorry to say, but this government or public facilities, where you find that the medic or the practitioner that is there is not friendly enough.
Okay.
So we don't want to go and embarrass ourselves there.
Quote unquote embarrassed in this case. Okay, I see that. So then a question again would be for you. Then how do we change that? Like get to that point where manaume atasema tu mimi leo nimeenda check up. Si ati naumwa na kichwa ama naumwa na meno. Like naenda wacha tu niende nikaangaliwe. Just make sure that everything is okay. Because even from the statistics, I mean, you can clearly agree that there's so many issues that are affecting men, but most of the time it's diagnosed almost when it's too late because they don't go to a hospital,
Actually,
right?
I could add something. During COVID, I had something sumbua in me.
Okay.
For a while. But it wasn't big. You know, for a man, if it's not killing you, you can survive.
I love this guy, but it wasn't big. The baby was suffering.
I waited for like 8 months.
Yeah.
When I eventually went to see a doctor, I was admitted immediately. And I thought it was a small thing, but it should have come 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it wasn't that serious. Now it's when it's getting serious.
Serious,
So sometimes we wait until it's really serious for us to go. And part of it is just a fear, but also that psychology, men's psychology, psychic.
Yes.
I can handle this. It's not too bad until it's too bad.
It's too bad. I mean, and Emmanuel, we have like literally 3 minutes to go on a break. I want to open the floor also. If you have any questions, please pose it to them. But what are some of the signs that men are actually suffering? And in this case, let's focus on relationships because we're in a relationship coach at this point, right? And then we kind of will come back with like the whole aspect about money and mental health. But really, what are the signs that a man is struggling, say, in their relationships, whether it's marriage or just relationships in general? What is it that we need to be on the lookout for?
I think some of the signs are some of the lifestyles that they lead.
Okay.
What they're doing to cope with the stress that they can't deal with, specifically at home.
Yeah.
You'll find men take forever to come home. You'll find men indulging in alcohol, some in drugs.
Yeah.
Some will indulge in, sex outside of the home.
Yes.
But also some will indulge in hobbies. Some of the guys who go for all this, who are so gung-ho about their hobbies, golfing all weekend, and they travel to all the clubs that, that partner with our club for a tournament. A lot of them are running from from those issues.
All right.
So that's some of the ways that
Essentially
you can see it
things that we really
manifest.
need to be on the lookout for. Okay, I want to open the floor very quickly if you have a question, because your time is far much spent, and we also need to then answer the question, then what do we need to do to change the narrative? But again, any question, yes, go ahead, and please start with your name.
Good morning.
Go ahead, yes.
My name's Johnston Imbote. I'm from Kasarani.
Yeah.
I'm a climate change champion.
Yeah.
And this issue of mental health to men, it has become an issue of late. Because men, we are really suffering in silence. We are really suffering in silence because we don't have someone to run to and express our issues or express our problem. Because now, when a man is having an issue or a depression, it is just now considered as a cultural norm. Because, for example, if we take this government correctional services like the police, for example, when I'm married, my wife assaults me. I'll suffer in silence. I won't be able to run to the police station and report. Because in the first place, the police will laugh at me. Or they will like, hey, this man has been beaten by the wife.
Yeah.
So I'll just rather suffer in silence.
Yeah. So the question is, what are those safe spaces? Who do you talk to, especially when it comes to like mental health, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if it's a question or it's a. I think that it should be done.
Okay.
At least
Something
to salvage this situation.
Okay.
I would like to see government or to see organizations like NGOs, the government, or the non-governmental organizations come up with bodies. Like you women, you have FIDA, right?
Yes.
When I assault you, FIDA will come for me.
Yeah.
But when you
Sijui
assault me, who will come for me? So men, we should also have such bodies that will stand for us when we are assaulted by you.
I see that. All right.
Yeah.
Quickly, anybody else with a burning question? Because we literally have to go on a break in the next 1 second. No.
All right. My name is Peter. I'm Director, Bongen Investment Limited from Machakos County. And I'm a youth leader. So when it involves men, let's talk. Because I'm not in family setup, but I remember those days before my father went to be the Lord. When I want something, I'll go direct to the father. Mama akitaka kitu, anaenda kwa baba. So the question is, huyu mwanaume na yeye ataenda kwa nani?
Good question.
So now that question remains hanging. So to our speakers kindly, where will we go to?
Where will we go to?
Ball on your side.
I like that question.
That's a very good question.
Do you also have your own?
Let me tell you, I think all my questions are burning, but because I have a panel coming up, I think I will direct all of that to them. But you had an answer to.
So I say that's a very good question because I had a realization some 3-4 years ago that one, I am the firstborn, so I am the deputy parent. My parents have now rested, so I am in charge of my sisters and the care of them. I'm carrying the family name, and then at home I am in charge or responsible, for my wife and my sons. And then in community, I am a pastor. I am in charge for the... Where am I taking my issues to? Pastor Simon Baby, where am I taking my issues to?
Now he has to answer that. Okay,
good question. I think to encourage vulnerability,
yes,
for us men, I would say 3 things. Number 1, we need to redefine what masculinity is. It's not dying silently. We are human first before we are men.
Yeah.
So redefine the values and norms of masculinity. And right from that time when we get circumcised and we are taught now you're a man, we need to redefine that. Number 2, we need to model vulnerability. Yesterday I was telling my son, there's this money needed, this is how much I have, this is where I am, I'm afraid of this, and I feel this. And I'm modeling that to him. I do it specifically to model. But it's okay, as a leader doesn't mean you have it all figured out.
Yes.
It just means you're figuring out together with others. So modeling that, those of us who are elder men, fathers, modeling that to the younger ones.
All right.
And then the culture will change eventually.
I see that.
Lastly, who do we go to? I think we need to create
you need
teams
to create your own,
that we can talk. And that's part of what you do in Man Enough.
Yeah.
You create a team of a few men, and they feel like it's safe here. We're supporting each other. like now me and you and a few others, we say, let's be a team together. We meet regularly, we talk.
Okay.
What you can't tell the children or the others, you can tell me.
Okay.
And I can tell you. So creating safe environments, groups of men, where we can talk to each other and be very vulnerable. And no, he's not going to judge me any differently because I talk to him, because he's also talking. And whatever we say here stays here.
Stays here. I like that safe space. All right, in like literally 10 seconds, because we literally need to go on a break and finish with this panel, because Mekaliana, she's pumped up with her panel. How then do we change that narrative so that at least we have men not go to a hospital because they've literally been dragged into the hospital, but really just wellness checkup, very in that 10 seconds.
To help him again, apart from what Pastor said, I think we were created as dominion. We dominate the earth as men. We were created first, then the woman was created later.
After.
So when we dominate, it means that we have a spiritual being who actually we need to go to. So one thing that we need to have is our belief system has to be in a way that we can align ourselves with our Creator. Then we'll come to understand that it is okay to make mistakes. Okay. And when you make mistakes, it is not a failure.
Yeah.
Now, two, when it comes to hospitals, and we need to ensure that men come to hospital, I think, as he said, the government and the NGOs needs to support the hospitals so that we create awareness, that is health education, for the men to know that it's okay to come to hospital and also get checked.
I see that. All right, allow us to go on a break, but again, they're still here. Hawaii. So if you have any question, for them, feel free to engage with us on our socials, and that is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X. We need to close this part of the conversation, but do not go too far, because Mikali is coming up, with the next conversation, and that is we've touched a little bit on relationships, but I'm pretty sure she's going to touch on the same, but on mental health, which is absolutely important, but at the same time, also money. Money pesa, don't forget that, all right? But for now, allow me to say a special thanks to Reverend Simon Bebe, who's a founder and executive director, Transform Nations, Dr. Jerry Okello, who's a director, Medigold Health Services, and Emmanuel Gashanja, who is a relationship coach and founder, iVow. All right, we'll see you on the other side of the break. We'll still be taking your feedback as we continue with the show, so do stay with us and see you shortly.
can hear you. Thank you. Your hair is definitely doing a thing. So do we go straight into the conversation or do we have feedback? Sorry?
Yeah.